What is up, guys? I am back with another video. Today I wanted to try out this discount store pencil kit. So I found this at Ross and I was super intrigued. It's a charcoal pencil kit. This is everything that comes inside if you want to pause and take a look. This was a $4.99 purchase. Yes, I did clickbait you, but that is fine. This is everything that comes in the kit. So first thing I'm going to work with is the charcoal pencil. It did come with the sharpeners for it. What I want to do in this is I want to go with each of the pencils and do a little sketch and then compare it to my graphite pencil to see kind of what the difference between the charcoal and the graphite really is. First thing I noticed once I did do that charcoal is how the little whites of the eyes are definitely popping out more than it would with the graphite, and I think it's just naturally darker. So I went ahead and I did it with each one. And the darker I got with like the 4B, the 2B, and the 6B, the more you were able to notice the difference between the graphite and the charcoal. Next thing that came in the kit is this HB pencil, which I loved. I had never had a woodless pencil before. The weight felt super cool and I felt like I was able to do more with the little sides of it. And I was super excited when I saw this in the kit. This is a pencil extender. I've never had one before and I don't have a pencil that's short enough to need this right now, but I am just so relieved that when I do get to that point, I'll have it. We also have some sandpaper, and then that's for the Clean Art blending stub, I don't know. Yeah, that thing, that white thing. And this is what I was most excited for, and that is the kneaded eraser. I have not had one of these since I was in high school, and I was having way too much fun in this. I had to cut this part of the video because I just started stretching it and stretching it and stretching it, I think for 5 minutes straight. And then the last part is the actual charcoal itself. But one thing about charcoal I will say is that I've never used it before. I don't really know how to use it, so I'm going to go ahead and visit my bestie, YouTube University, and find out how to do so. So my plan for this is going to be that I'm going to do 2 sketches of the same thing. The first one is going to be just my first attempt with the charcoal and figuring out how it works. And then my second one is going to be the final product that I do on my favorite sketchbook. This is going to be my reference image of what I want to do. So first thing I did was just draw the overall shape of what the cows are going to look like. Then I went back in and added all the little details. And this is the final result of the cows. And none of them have hooves because there's really tall grass in the image. My plan was to draw the grass with the different charcoal pencils. This right here is my first mistake, and that is going to be adding way too much charcoal. I was trying to make it look like dirt, which you're able to see here on this first image that it just had a lot of dirt in the foreground. But I just added way too much. Videos I watched did tell me a little goes a long way, so be careful how much you use, but I just really didn't listen. At this point, I'm trying to save it as much as I can. I'm adding more grass strokes. I'm going in with the kneaded eraser to try and pick up some of that charcoal, but it was already too late. I had used way too much. So eventually, I did just decide to give up on it. I went in and just started working on the mountains. Because that was my only option. And you would think at this point I would have learned my lesson, but no, I didn't. The mountains also look terrible, but that's okay. Now I know when it goes to doing the sketch again in my favorite sketchbook to not do that. So I started up the same way I did the other 2, is drawing the shape of the cow first, and then after the shape is done for all 3 of them, going back in and adding the face and the details and all the little flappies they have on their body and all the muscle they have as well. That's everything with the woodless HB pencil. I really love this pencil. I loved the weight on it. And then I went in with the charcoal pencils and I did the same thing I did the last time, and that is adding the different grass shades. At this point I got bored and I wanted to see if I could do 2 pencils at the same time. I found out pretty quickly I'm not ambidextrous, so I'm sticking to that 1 pencil method. And then now it comes to the mountains. Now I don't know why I wasn't able to get this on camera, but I found that it works for me best if I just grind down the charcoal a little bit and then use that powder with a little paintbrush and then paint it on to the page, and also use the blending stump to smooth it out. I think it looks a lot better like this than my first attempt. And this is about 2 days after I had finished it, and there was no pencil smudging on that page next to it. So that makes me think it's good quality. Or maybe it's bad quality, I don't know, but I like that. I think that's a pro for me. Overall, with everything in the equipment, I think my favorite is going to be the charcoal pencils and the woodless HB pencil. But overall, I loved the kit. I would genuinely give it an 8 out of 10 from the result and just from using it. But what do you guys think? Should I have saved my $4 or was this a good purchase?